My girlfriend says Starbucks sucks. She doesn't know what good coffee is. Starbucks is amazing. I love Starbucks. You know, I was in Lexington over the week for Thanksgiving, right? Got in on Monday. Left earlier today, actually. I landed about an hour and a half ago. Well, 2 hours ago, really. Yeah. Maybe 3. I don't know. I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? This is a Vincero watch, by the way. You guys should get one of these. I promise I wasn't paid to say that. It's just a really, really good watch. It's like 125, 120. So, some hours ago, I landed. Sometime before now, I landed in Denver, and now I'm here. So, spent the week in Lexington. Get in on Monday, hit up Josh, and like Josh, myself, Miss Terry, Rachel, and Anna. We all go out to dinner at Stony River in Louisville. Now, Stony River is like an amazing steakhouse, right? I mean, it's like one of the best steakhouses ever. Yeah. It's like my number one choice. I think it's better than Ruth's Chris. Better than Ruth's Chris. But it's pretty incredible. Anyway. What's up, man? Not too bad, man. That's a beautiful dog, by the way. Yeah, man. Looks gorgeous. So, we have dinner there. And I'm back in Lexington by like 8 p.m., something like that. Louisville's an hour away, so it's not that far away. But it was cool catching up with all them, you know, seeing what like Rachel's doing. She's wanting to get into the whole wine business and talking to Josh and, you know, catching up with him and Anna, and they're parents now. Yeah. I kept giving Rachel a hard time. I'm like, when are you going to settle down and like have kids and stuff? I don't know. But it was really, really cool catching up with everybody. End up spending the next couple days meeting and hanging out with everybody. Myself and Raj went to a UK basketball game, and then myself and Chris went to a UK basketball game, and went to dinner and went to Thanksgiving dinner and all that kind of good stuff, and hung out with friends the whole time. There's this point where I'm driving around the city of Lexington at 3 o'clock in the morning. And the reason why I had a couple things I need to get off my chest at the time that I was just kind of mulling over, but that's something that Daniel and I used to do. We used to drive around the city of Lexington and just think about things, talk about things that were bothering us that we needed to get off our head and so on and so forth. And I'm driving around town, and I get out of my car and start walking around downtown. 3 o'clock in the morning, not a soul out there. I mean, there's some stragglers from last call, but, there's like 3 of them. That's it. So, whole downtown, 3 people walking around. And I'm one of them, so 4. And I'm taking a few pictures and, just kind of looking at my old stomping ground, right? Because in the city of Lexington, right now they're building up the Centerpoint Hotel, which it took the city of Lexington 10 years to finally get to that point because the city of Lexington's totally incompetent. But back before it was the Centerpoint Hotel they're building, it was a giant hole in the ground for 10 years, but before that, it was the bar block. So you had like Mia's, and you had McCarthy's, and you had the Dame, and you had Buster's, and you had Natasha's, and you had like a whole bunch of really, really cool places around there, little eateries, things like that. Alla Lucy, I think, was down there. Yes, some really, really cool places to eat and socialize and so on and so forth. And I remember, during the few times that I got to hang out with my friends during my 20s when I wasn't working, we would go downtown, go to Mia's. Back when Raj was a smoker, when I was a smoker, we go down there and hang out. Mia's had a really, really cool crowd. They also had an amazing hot brown. But it was funny to kind of go through there and look around and remember where I used to spend my early 20s. And I started thinking about nostalgia. Started getting those nostalgia feels. And I thought it would make an interesting topic for a video. Because nostalgia is powerful, guys. At any given point, I've always felt like there's only ever 3 versions of us walking around this world, right? There's the person we used to be, the person we are, and the person that we'll become one day. What those 3 forms take can be terrifying, right? The person we were may turn out to be the person that we end up becoming, right? You're a person that suffered from depression, you managed to get past it, and you're afraid you'll fall back into it again. So the future version of yourself is horrifying because your future version is your past version with a little more wisdom. Or the future version of yourself, maybe you're like me. You were young and you were dumb and you made a lot of stupid decisions. But you also, along the way, got a little bit wiser, learned from your experiences, learned from your mistakes, quit your job, became a YouTuber, and the rest is history. built up an awesome fan base of amazing people whose lives that you hopefully make better. You know? I mean, I'd like to believe that I make your all's lives better in some form or fashion. You know? I don't know. These inane-ass ramblings that I make in these videos where I basically talk about nothing for 10 minutes. I don't know if those are interesting to you guys or not. These introspective videos. But nonetheless, you know, nostalgia is one of those things where it's okay to dip your toe in. That dog is pooping back there. But you don't want to live in nostalgia because it'll keep you anchored to the past. People often say things like that, you know, if I could go back to high school knowing what I know now, if I can go back to college knowing what I know now, if I can go back to my teenage years knowing what I know now, imagine what I would be like, you know. But you can never go back. And even if you could, why would you want to? You know? I mean, if I went back to high school knowing what I know now, it would suck. You know, it's like Andy Bernard says in The Office, I wish there was a way to know that you were in the good old days when you were in the good old days. But what makes them the good old days, this is the other half, the part he didn't talk about. What makes them the good old days is hindsight. The things you learned along the way. The friends you made, the relationships you formed, the experiences that you had, all of which culminated in how you view the world right now. The fact that you look back on those with fond memories means that you understood the value of them, that you learned from them, you experienced them. But if you went back, it wouldn't be the same. You know? It's like Michael Caine said in Jaws the Revenge, the only good line of the whole movie, the only good point in the whole movie, when he's talking about Disney World, right? He says this, they were talking about something and he says it's like Disney World. When you go for the first time, it's brand new and it's amazing. But when you go back the second time, you know too much and nothing's ever the same, which is true. You can never go back. And even if you could, you're a totally different person now than you were then. And so at that point, you're just anchoring yourself to the past. You're living in the past, which is not the worst thing if what you're looking for is introspection. It's not the worst thing if what you're looking for is to reflect on past experiences that you had in order to make yourself a better person now and a better person in the future. But to live in the past will only drag you down. It'll only serve to take away from the great moments that you're experiencing right now, from the life that you have right now. You know, you'll be like, you know, Saito from, you know, what is that? Inception. Grow to be an old person filled with regret. You don't want to do that. Was it Saito? Was that his name? I can't remember. Ken Watanabe was the one who played him. I don't know whatever happened to him. I know he was battling cancer at one point, but I always said Ken Watanabe would be like an amazing character in the MCU. Like if they brought him in, there was one actor, or there was one character I could have sworn up and down he would have been an amazing actor for. Iron Fist. Not Iron Fist, Shang-Chi. He would have been an amazing Shang-Chi. And even then, like any other character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there was one movie, though, that he would have been awesome in. And I can't remember what it was. No, he would have been an awesome Ancient One. That's what it was. In Doctor Strange. He would have been an awesome person to play the Ancient One. Instead, they cast a white chick. And they made her look Asian on the posters. You don't believe me? Go look. Go look at the old posters for Doctor Strange. They actually photoshopped her to make her look Asian. It's kind of fucked up. It's pretty bad. That'll get me blacklisted on somebody's list over at Marvel. I don't know. But nonetheless, you know, here's the thing, guys. It's so easy to look back into the past and wish you could go back there. It's the nature of the past. It's the nature of how things are, you know. Nostalgia gives you the feeling of being able to create a second chance, but doing it over and doing it better. But you're the person you are now because of the mistakes you made. You're the person that you are now because of all the things you did wrong and all the things you did right. Don't take away from that. Because to say that if you could go back and do it all over again, you would change things means that you don't see the value of who you are right now. I mean, I guess in some instances you would want to shift those around, but honestly, with all those experiences that I've had, all the mistakes that I made over the course of my life, the things that I said to people that I wished I hadn't said, the things that I didn't say that I wished I'd said, you know, I wouldn't take any of those back because they all led me to this moment right here with the beautiful woman in my life and a fucking incredible woman in my life. Let me tell you something, guys. I mean, I like to make sure that she understands that there's privacy there, that she's not in the public eye for you guys to know about. And so I'll reference her very few times, but I will say this woman that I'm talking to right now, like I thought I knew what love was before. There are men that go their whole lives and never find a woman like this. And I found her, and I'll never let her go. Not a fucking chance. I'll chain her up in my basement. I'm not going to do that. But nonetheless, you know, to that moment, you know, to this moment right here with this incredible, amazing woman in my life, with an amazing fan base, with you guys watching my videos, giving a damn about me as a person, the friends that I have, the business relationships that I formed, the business that I run. Let me tell you something, there's nothing like shaking hands with you guys. There's nothing like being at a convention and having one of you guys walk up to me and say, I love your content. Because at the end of the day, I'm just a guy who makes YouTube videos about comic books and makes YouTube videos like this. But the feeling of knowing that I make your guys' lives better in some form or fashion, I have no idea whether I actually do or not. But the idea that I can impact your all's lives in a positive way, it's like the most humbling thing ever. It's like the greatest feeling ever. Up to this point anyway. But, well, outside of this woman that I'm with. She makes me feel incredible, but she makes me feel like I can conquer the world, to be honest with you guys. Like, I can do anything. As long as I have her at my side, I can do anything in this world. I could fly. That'd be cool. If you guys could have one power, what power would you have? I'm curious. I'd take the power of flight. Like, okay, and no combining powers, right? You can't say you want like the power to copy other powers. That's cheating. You can only choose one power. So you can't have the Flash's power because he's got like a healing factor and all that kind of stuff because of the Speed Force. So it's like super speed and nothing else, right? Like you can still be shot with a bullet. You can't time travel with super speed. It's just, you can run really fast. So like Quicksilver's powers, basically. What power would you guys have? All right, don't cheat. All right, I'll know if you're cheating because your comments. But all I'm saying is this, guys, don't live in the past. Nostalgia is the enemy of progression. It's the enemy of becoming a better person. You know, use it to learn and use it to recollect and think fondly on great times, but don't live in the past. You'll take away from everything that you've learned, everything that you've become. You know, you're great the way you are. Don't take away from that. Celebrate that. Celebrate the person that you are right now. Enjoy the person you are right now. So yeah, anyway, just my little rambling, I guess. Nostalgia according to Rob. We're gonna bring this video to an end, and yeah, hopefully the wind wasn't too disruptive, and I will catch you all later. Peace.